It's the turn of the Merida E160 to tackle the 104 Powerstage with the 2021 Shimano EP8 motor. So come and join us then to see how we get on in a load of nasty root and limestone. The 104 Powerstage is an extremely technical climb that really explores the limits of just what is possible on an e-bike. Slick limestone outcrops and steep root sections make it the ultimate test for rider and bike. He's totally f***ed it. Against such a challenging backdrop, we set out to discover how each of the key e-bike motors can cope with such a climb, and in doing so explore their character, functions, and of course performance. Now, just in case you might be wondering about the relevance of the number 104, well, 1 minute and 4 seconds is the fastest time recorded so far by a rider on an e-bike on this particular hill, and the time we're trying to beat by way of using a variety of all the main motor brands. Weighing in at 2.6 kilos and from Japan, the Shimano EP8, launched in September 2020, is 300 grams lighter than its predecessor, the E8000. It is also smaller and has more torque, going from 70 Nm to 85 Nm. The system also has more displays, remotes, and a variety of internal and external batteries in either 504 or 634 watt-hours. Now, like the E8000, it is also an open system, meaning the motor characteristics can be personalised. Not only are there 2 presets available, but you can fully customise your motor, including the character and the torque. It really is some motor. Well, it's pretty interesting. After all those years I raced downhill, you could probably do about 10 to 15 back-to-back downhill runs in a day. I think when it comes to uphill challenges, I think maybe 6 is a maximum on a one minute effort. But again, like downhill, line choice is critical, and always pre-run, you have to check out your lines, and I have to say that conditions are pretty premium today. Beautiful light in these beautiful beech woods, and I can't wait to get stuck in. I can wait to get stuck in because I know how physical this climb is. And again, you know, there's a lot of pressure involved. You have to nail your line. So there's just simply no room for mistakes. But let's go and get stuck in to the 104 Powerstage. Time then to hand over to our electronics expert Andre to talk us through the numbers on the Shimano EP8.
The torque curves and the power curves go up a lot higher than they did on the E8000. So you can now keep your cadence up. You can get up to 90 RPM on your cadence, 100 RPM on your cadence, and you won't notice the power drop off as you would have done on the other motors. Now we know on the EP8 that the curves actually flatten out more at the top. They carry on further, so you can get up to 80, 90, 100 RPM on your cadence, in line with what the other motors were doing. So you will find that it's substantially different to the E8000.
But nevertheless, what happens when you stop pedaling?
So as Shimano haven't made a big play about overrun, what you may find is that as you stop pedaling, the motor will drop off really quickly.
The EP8 is certainly quieter and smoother pedalling than the old E8000, but more than this, it has stronger heat resistance on longer climbs. Shimano say it outputs maximum torque for longer without overheating. Pretty important on a hill like this then. The EP8 spins up quickly and delivers incredibly smooth power, but you really need to be careful that you maintain the cadence, as the power does cut quite quickly. This means there's definitely a technique to riding EP8, and you need to be able to react fast. Also, to get the most out of the motor, the more you put in, the more you get out. Remember though, you can tune the motor character of the EP8, which is a very cool feature for slippy winter riding to get smoother power delivery. But when the clock is ticking and on a dry day, there's only one way: full boost. So last time out, guys, we had the Canyon Spectral on with the older Shimano E8000 motor, and we put a time in of 1:14. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the 2021 version of Shimano's flagship motor will get on. On this bike, again, we have 29-inch wheel up front, 27.5 on the rear. And again, we've got the Maxxis DHR2, but this time it's in 2.6 and not 2.8. Same tire pressures, 160mm travel front and rear. So as you can see, we've got the log start down to a fine art. Now, obviously, I'm going to be in boost mode and the high tune on the EP8. So Josh, count me in one more time. Whoa, that was physical. I tell you what, I love the shape and size of this Merida E160. It's in an extra large. I'm 6 foot. It's absolutely bang on, and it goes to prove that it's not just about the motor on your e-mountain bike. The geometry and sizing is equally as important. Now, I put a time in on the EP8, and I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised. Now, what I love about the EP8 motor is that it's got a lot less resistance than the old E8000, and the pickup, when you're accelerating over little steps, it's instantly there. But I have to say, the time, 1:10, is not what I expected, and it really got me into a bit of a downward spiral, thinking, am I really tired? Is it the ground conditions? And what I did, I got another bike to do a comparison, and yeah, that's what it is. It is a 110. It's a 110, and but don't let that, doesn't take anything away from the fun that I have on the bike. It just means that it's a few seconds slower. That's all. Anyhow, let's know your thoughts. EP8 versus E8000. Interesting conversation.